Now, what's the first weapon you get when you start Fallout 4? No, it's not the 10mm pistol, or the pipe pistol. It's these, weapons of mass destruction, known as your fists. And with a perk specifically designed to increase your unarmed damage, what's more perfect than this challenge? There's not many rules for this challenge, except only fists. No brass knuckles, no boxing gloves, just these naturally gifted hands of steel. So let's see if we can beat Fallout 4 with fists only. Starting in the bathroom, we're met with the world-renowned heavyweight champion of the Commonwealth, Unit. I sat there at the door stalking the Vault-Tec rep until he got to my door, and put some points into strength for the increased damage and endurance for the solar-powered perk. That grants a +2 in strength and perception, and also put a little bit of points in luck for the Idiot Savant perk. We all know how the story goes. Sean cries, shut him up, kaboom, ice cube time, wife is kill, escape time. Looting my wife for a refund on the ring because, well, I need a ton of caps later down the line. I know she'll understand. Ransacked the vault for stim packs and scraps, picked up the Pip-Boy, and entered the wasteland. Although, it's been 200 years, Cogsworth still better be doing his chores, or he's going back to the scrapyard.
And the car! How do you polish rust?
Well, he's going to the scrap. Entering my house, I picked up the Your Special book and invested the final point into luck so I could actually get the Idiot Savant perk. And picking up the Grognak book for that crisp +5% more crit unarmed damage. And got to scrapping the entirety of Sanctuary for that sweet, sweet head start of levels. After placing more shelves I knew what to do with, I got 8 levels from it. With 2 points into unarmed and toughness, 1 point into intelligence for the medic perk. I set off to find the unarmed bobblehead, discovering key locations for the story so we can quickly come back later. Nabbing another Grognak book on the way to Fort Hagen, and this is where I discovered the worst enemy to fight against in the challenge. No, it wasn't a Deathclaw or a Yaoguai. It was these guys. Yeah, terrorist Shreks. While in a normal run, these are probably one of the easiest enemies to deal with. In this run, they're a living hell. No, don't you come and attack us now. Yeah, that didn't end well. I mean, what did I expect going toe-to-toe with a nuclear warhead? While travelling through Boston, I did a little negotiation with some raiders. They would have something I wanted, mainly armor, and in return I would beat the shit out of them. Until the forced to hand it over. In other words, I would kill them and just take it from the corpse. Hold up, pause. If you're wondering why I'm constantly switching between camera perspectives, it's because it's a Bethesda game, which means it's gotta have exploits. If you switch perspective as the animation lands, it actually melees quicker than if you were just to spam the attack button. Just look at this for an example. So yeah, pretty nuts for dealing a huge amount of damage. Quickly doing a drive-by on Piper, fleeing the scene to avoid the interaction later. Make my way to Swan's Pond for yet another Grognak book and discovering Park Street Station. I made my way to the Old North Church for the railroad. And mocking a small child in the fridge that wanted me to take him home.
I'm just looking for the mayonnaise. Maybe you could grab it for me? Second shelf? Right next to the pudding?
But, no. I need something to take my anger out on, and what's better than beating a child? Yeah, for legal reasons, my lawyers informed me that I should not condone child abuse in any way. Unless I finally grabbed the unarmed bobblehead, and now it's time to start the game. Make my way to the Red Rocket to grab the fusion core and headed into Concord to begrudgingly help Preston. For as long as I live, I will never side with the Minutemen.
How about the settlement problem? Another settlement needs our help. I'll mark it on your map.
But a set of rusty power armor. Now that's intriguing. With another point into bloody mess, the museum wasn't really an issue. Neither were the raiders outside. And the Deathclaw, it went down easier than expected. I am only playing on normal difficulty, just to make it not as difficult as it has to be. So, you see, buff out increases my strength by 2 points, and combined with a Psycho, it further increases my damage by 25%. That is a whole can of whoop-ass. But these drugs are hard to come by, unless you know where to find a ton of them. With blood fresh on my hands, I headed straight into Diamond City to go get loaded on drugs. Through the quest, Diamond City Blues. So, I could punch harder than Cook hits Paul. In response, I hit Cook a lot harder back to assert the dominance, and went to go ambush Murawski's chem lab, stealing their lives, their money, and then the drugs. After crafting plenty of drugs for that yummy XP, and selling ammo to supply myself with some caps, I fast travel to Park Street Station to rescue Nick. Fueled up with enough drugs to make a baby bench a semi-truck, I obliterated all the triggermen, and pinned and ruthlessly beat Dino in a corner, and then freed Nick. splattering all the trigger men on the way to Skinny Malone. And me and Skinny fought fairly. I definitely didn't cheat by absorbing enough drugs to warp space and time. After he was defeated, I presented my battle trophy to Nick. Heading back to the detective agency, we found that Kellogg took Sean, and so we inspected his place for clues, and because they were free for the taking, I made like a mukbang video and hailed all the food in Kellogg's goon cave. We used dog meat to sniff a cigar to try and track down Kellogg, but I'm from the future, I know where he is. He's hiding in Fort Hagen. Clearing the synths and meeting with Kellogg, I immediately attacked him with VATS. And for the first time, I actually found this fight quite difficult. Not because it was the damage I was receiving, but the difficulty came from trying to find him while he was using a stealth boy to stop him from healing. After he was turned into a fine paste, I left Fort Hagen and saw that... Oh my god. Hit a blimp. Did a little wiggle in celebration. Returning to Diamond City to tell Nick about my findings. Piper wanted to do an interview, which I just replied sarcastically to.
It was just me and 1,000 guinea pigs. They turned carnivorous. Okay.
Because you know how I feel about the press. Entering Good Neighbor, I gave Finn a run for his money and sparked him out. And in the memory den, I explored Kellogg's memories to find out how to get into the Institute. And coming out to hear Kellogg being an ass.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head.
Bet his ass is still crying for losing to Fists. Deadliest man in the Commonwealth, my ass. And off to the Glow and Say I went. Hey, just a second of your time. If you haven't already, subscribe if you're enjoying it and leave a like, because it does take me a long time to make these videos, and showing your support would be greatly appreciated. I also want to apologise for this Activate Windows watermark. Literally my PC's brand new and fresh, and I just couldn't be asked to activate it at the time. So I hope it's not much of a hindrance. Right, thank you very much. Back to the video. Running away from a Deathclaw like I was being chased by a T-Rex, and into his cave. Vigil told me that I have to get a Coaster chip to code to gain access to the Institute. But first, a quick little trip to the Cambridge police station to meet Paladin Dance, because I will be siding with the Brotherhood for that crisp, clean power armor, and an abundance, you see what I did there, of fusion cores that the Predwin has. Off to mass fusion I went. Yeah, also Billy's still here. And from this interaction, I learned Dance was also a Chad who enjoys child abuse. Again, a joke. In Arcjet, we stomped through the synths and cooked Dance. We retrieved the deep range transmitter, and then I was invited aboard the Predwin. I attended Elder Maxon's professional meeting where I showed him my boogie skills, met the crew, donned on my power armor, and took to my first mission as a Brotherhood Knight, secure Fort Strong. See, there's a problem. The game indicates that you have to kill the behemoth with the vertibird, but you see, this looks nothing like this. So I can't use it. And after flying around in the circles for way too long, I finally landed. I say it like that because it was more of a flop than a land. So, oh fuck, alright. Can someone please tell me how a human can twist like that and just shrug it off? Shrugged up, once again, it was time to kill. At least, I thought it was. Oh man, and holy shit. I don't know if it's just the little damage I do and the amount of health a behemoth has, but fuck me, it took ages to kill. From a full set of power armor to just the chest, I headed inside the building, securing the first floor, then the armory. From the behemoth, I learned my current setup was not going to be good enough, so it's time for some upgrades. I went straight back to Tegan for the Brotherhood of Steel combat armor and the commando chest piece for more defense and a quicker AP recharge rate. On my way out, I attempted to steal a fresh set of power armor, which I was actually successful in doing. But, you know, getting out and back into a stolen set of power armor right in front of a few Brotherhood soldiers isn't really the best idea. Oh my fucking god! Okay, I'll just take the death at this point. Well, let's just hope to forget about it while I upgrade my armor. While I've been leveling up, I've been investing some points into the armor perk so I can give myself some more strength and defense. But the problem is I didn't have the materials to upgrade it straight away, so I went to do a little shopping, visiting Carla, the diner, Diamond City, Bunker Hill, literally everywhere, searching for adhesive, bones, and leather. Then, went to Vault 81, I scammed the Overseer, stealing all the alcohol and keeping the 3 fusion cores. Oh, and I can't forget about the fresh trim.
You good looking.
Purchasing the Destroyer's right leg for 10% increased movement speed. And back at Sanctuary where I pimped out all my armor, increasing my base strength by a stat of 4, making it 14. And that's not even including any chems and alcohol. With buff out and a nice little bottle of whiskey, although I might be off my face, I have a strength stat of 19, almost double the max base strength. If I got the strength bobblehead, it would be 20, but we'll get to that later when I'm actually meant to be in mass fusion. Finally, it's time for the Corsair. With all my new strength bonuses and a set of power armor, honestly, the gunner stood no chance. Destroying my way up to the Corsair, it was time to face him head on. And, to celebrate, I splattered every hostage in sight, because what are war crimes anyways? Heading back to the Railroad HQ, where I talked to Tinker Tom about getting the Corsair chip decoded, and went back to Elder Maxon to start constructing the teleporter, and it's time for the Institute. Once in the Institute, using the network scanner for Ingram, and meeting with Sean after spending the entire story up until now looking for him, I instantly declined his invite to join the Institute. But because of this, I wasn't allowed access to get to the deep parts of the Institute. Therefore, I couldn't talk to Dr. Lee to convince her to join the Brotherhood. So, with a cranky Maxon, he told me to go find a replacement. So, off to the General Atomics bowling alley I went to go recover Professor Scara. Oh wait, hold up, I'm getting a call.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
Yeah, I think he had the wrong number. Returning to Ingram, she requested 4 electromagnetic actuators for Liberty Prime. But no big deal, as I already had a high-powered magnet, bought previously as I was buying my materials for my armor. Liberty Prime was in need for some nukes, so back into the glow and see I went. I met up with Scrive Halen and headed inside. Climbing down the missile silo to deactivate the lockdown, and through the pipes, this is where I really put those meat gauntlets to use. Beating ghouls and finding a Children of Atom. Wait, is it Child of Atom, since how there's just one? Or is it still children? Anyways, it's not important. What is that I showed him the real god. And it's not Adam, it's Unit. As easy as he went down, I couldn't say the same whatsoever about his Assaultron. After a pretty heated battle, I opened the doors and secured the nukes. Heading back to Ingram, I accidentally, in quotation, smacked Billy across the face. And the Brotherhood saw this as a threat. Not because I smacked a child across the face. The threat was Billy. I knew that little shit was plotting something. But, because of this, I believe it's finally time to take Billy home. All the memories we shared, all the adventures we went on, all the abuse you took, just for my satisfaction. I will miss you, Billy. Returning Billy to his family. Better not say a word, you little shit. A mercenary called Bullet was outside the family's house, wanted to attack us because clearly he's just jealous of the bond that me and Billy share. So, in exchange, I offered to sell the entirety of Billy's family.
How about...
I don't think so. Why should I?
But yeah, I don't think he took kindly to that offer. So, I must defend Billy, because if anyone kills him, it's gonna be me. Killing Bullet and his mercenaries, I waved my farewells and returned to the Predwin with tears in my eyes. I was interrogated by Maxon because he's been led to believe that I knew Paladin Dance was a synth the entire time. I mean, believe whatever you want, Maxon, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he's right. But that's not the point. But, I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with Dance after the whole Billy scenario. I will miss beating you, Billy. Off to a bunker where he was hiding, I give him a quick slap and left. Captain Kells told me about the railroad being an obstacle, so with murder on the mind, I took to the Old North Church. Fists flailing, no one stood a chance. Not Glory, not Deacon, not Tinker Tom, nobody. With the railroad cleared, returning once again to the Predwin since Paladin Dance's mysterious disappearance, I was given his power armor. Well, I mean, he's not using it. Geared to the teeth, it's now time for mass fusion. Skillfully dodging the synths going down the elevator, and there it is, I saw it. My final upgrade, the Strength Bobblehead. I rushed up to quickly grab it as fast as I could, and once I got into the actual reactor room, getting my internal organs irradiated and melted, I grabbed the beryllium agitator, and it was time to leave. But not without fighting a few robots. With tasty drugs pumping through my veins, I killed a sentry bot, the Assaultrons, and anything else security sent my way. Leaving mass fusion, I returned to the airport and refueled Liberty Prime. And so, the final march has begun. Storming our way to the CIT ruins, blowing up anything in our path. Well, Liberty Prime did all the work while I just sat there and watched, sometimes getting caught in the crossfire. Blowing a hole into the top of the Institute, I jumped in and killed a couple of Harambes, and made my way up to Sean's living quarters, where I could not bear to hear him out.
I didn't expect to see you again.
Deactivating the lockdown and attaching bomb to their reactor, I was teleported to the relay room, where I was met with Sean. Well, Synth Sean. I slapped him, and he ran. No one compares to Billy, and no one ever will. And, with a button press, say goodbye to Sean and the Institute. And to answer the question, yes. Yes, you can be Fallout 4 with your fists only.